Hi guys, it's Linda Bjork here, and it's Tuesday, which is one of my favorite days of the week because I get to spend live time with my group of executive women, leaders, managers, professionals who come together to really expand their mind field and to clean up a lot of the stuff that is in their way for becoming the great leaders that they really are and can be. And living in coronavirus times, this is an interesting time to be sure. I'm in the thick of things in New York City, and good thing I'm not in the thick of things in my mind. And that's really what we were talking about today. And I wanted to give you a little quick update because some of the things that we talk about there, I know will resonate with you. And I know there's a very, very hard choice right now that governments and companies are thinking about, and that is really to put humans against humans or people against profit. And are we willing to open up the country again? I'm talking about America right now, but this is surely something that a lot of countries are thinking about, at the cost of more lives being lost. And these are interesting questions to be sure. And what that causes in a lot of people is depression and hopelessness and a lot of anxiety, to not say panic in some of us. And so I wanted to address that, and I wanted to meet you in what, at this point, week 2, for some of us in self-isolation, we are getting to a point where some of us feel loneliness. Some of us feel depression if we're prone to that. And we keep having these thoughts of hopelessness, and then we need to shape up because, there's a time after the coronavirus. And at the same time, we see that it's the end of the month, and how are we going to pay for some things? Some of us are lucky to be able to work from home. Some of us aren't as lucky. And some of us might even have lost people or parts of their lungs to this virus at this point. So we need to sit with that. We need to, and what I talked so much and deeply about today with my group is that there is a step before the spring. There is something that we need to prepare within ourselves before we are ready to, first of all, go through this time, but we need to grow through this time in order to get to a place where we are the ones that are ready when we open up the world again. So one of the things that I keep reminding my group of, which I hope will be helpful for you, is to have a sense of lightness with things. We tend to take things very, very seriously, and I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't take the warnings from governments, etc., not seriously, but what I am suggesting is that there's something about ourselves. Because now we've been cooped up with family members that we might not like so much on day 11 as we did on day 2. And there are a lot of things that happen within us, a lot of frustration because we want to move forward. We want to have things happen. We might be a little bit or a lot extrovert, so we actually want to be fed by the energy of other people. I'm a public speaker, for crying out loud. I'm used to every so often, every month, get that kind of feedback, get that kind of boost. And what I want everybody to know is that you can actually do a lot of these things yourself. There's a whole world within you that's accessible to you, and that's what we're working on with ourselves in this program, the Mindfulness Intelligence Mastermind Program. So let me read a beautiful passage from Aldous Huxley, Island. Island is the book called, because it's so right on target for what I want to say when it comes to when we get too contracted, when we get too caught up in being pissed off at this and pissed off at that. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you land on, we're still pissed off, And so your opinions in this honestly don't matter all that much. It's that what really matters is how you love and how you love yourself and how you are getting yourself in order, how you get your inner business in order, as I'd like to say, for when it is time. We are not in ultimate control. What do you know? Shocker right there for so many of us. But that is the way of the land. And here is the passage that I wanted to read. It's dark because you are trying too hard. Lightly, child, lightly. Learn to do everything lightly. Yes, feel lightly even though you're feeling deeply. Just lightly let things happen and lightly cope with them. I was so preposterously serious in those days. Lightly, lightly, it's the best advice ever given me. To throw away your baggage and go forward. There are quicksands all about you, sucking at your feet, trying to suck you down into fear and self-pity and despair. That's why you must walk so lightly. Lightly, my darling. Aldous Huxley from Ireland. And the reason it resonates so much with me is that what we practice in this program is that we are practiced to creating a space within ourselves where we can actually look at ourselves lightly. We can observe our own actions and even our thoughts and our feelings that come with those thoughts. So we are in a much better position to be the kind of leaders that people and the world needs right now and when the world opens up again. So with this actually comes a lot of self-distance, self-humor, and being able to look at ourselves and not take everything so personally. And please love your spouse. Please remember why you created a family in the first place. Because I hear a lot of complaints about how unappreciative and he's calling me hysterical and all these things that we easily get stuck in when we are in a time of panic, when we are in a time of fear. And we just have to remind ourselves that we look at this lightly. We don't have to take our reactions or their words so seriously, especially not when there's a pandemic going on. And we are very, very under the influence of our hindbrain because fear makes our smart part of the brain actually shut down. So we're going to give everybody much more slack. And with that, we're going to grow through this period instead of just going through it. And reminding us all that the kind of leaders that we need in the world are definitely leaders that have their capacities of their minds in order. And this is the time to do that. This is the time when we have the time and we have the capacity to dive into our own greatness. And you can do that. If you specifically want to have a breakthrough call with me, I do invite, again, time of course can be limited here in this earthly plane. And so if you do find a time in my calendar, I will post a link where we can talk absolutely free about how you can go from feeling stuck and feeling frustrated and how you best prepare for being the kind of leader that your company and the world needs right now and your family needs right now, and to prepare for the time that's coming. We don't know when the world will open up again and go back, quote unquote, to normal. But here's the thing, it will never be exactly the same. That's not how life works. That's why there's a Confucius saying that a man cannot step into the same river twice, for he is not the same man, and it is not the same river. This is our time to reevaluate, to recalibrate, and to really fill up with the kind of fuel that will take your Ferrari down the highway as it comes. And If you want to know more about Mindfulness Intelligence, which is an absolutely excellent system for leaders and others who want to be in charge of themselves and their teams and really have a new level of impact in life, check it out. You'll find it. I can post some more links regarding that. And in the meantime, stay caring. We're being careful when we go out. The biggest part of the word careful is care. We are caring towards ourselves. We are caring towards our hearts. And this is a big, big, big invitation for all of us to feel care, to feel empathy, and to prepare for greatness. And I'm not going to say thank God for the pause, but thank God for the pause. You know, there's always two ways of looking at things or more. So to be continued. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.